Good evening, guys, and welcome back to Train Sim World 5 launch day, which is pretty cool. And I would like to say a big shout out to Dovetail Games for providing me with the key for the deluxe edition of Train Sim World 5. Very unexpected and much appreciated, so I can do some videos on it. Now, I've done a few videos on the West Coast Main Line over the last few days. They're all up on my channel already. Now it's time to go to Germany. It's time to try out the new German route. Now, I'm fairly familiar with the German routes. I drive them fairly regularly in Train Sim World 4. But we're gonna try out the new one. And we're gonna see how we get on. I have been racking my brain as to which train to play, and I was looking at a few, and I kind of like this was the add-on one, right? So I think I like this, but this is, we've had versions of this train in Train Sim World for a long time, and to be fair, so we've had Vectrons in the game, but I just like the look of this train, so we're gonna go for the FlixTrain. We're gonna give it a whirl. You get two different variations here that bring. I think this is. I think this will be mostly freight services, I would imagine, and I'm gonna assume this one's more like shuttle runs. You don't get a huge selection to do, but you get a few. We're going to start with this one. Why not? Let's just do the first one and give it a whirl. I'm going to leave... do you know what? I have been setting the weather to clear in all my other videos just to see the route. But do you know what? This time, let's put it on clear, but we're going to leave it on dynamic and let's see what happens with the weather on the journey. Right, let's get started because it is an hour-long run. So let's go. I'm very excited for this route. I've been looking forward to driving it. Oh yeah, worth noting there is a big sale on just now. At the time of recording this video. Okay, so unlock the doors, but before we do that, we need to get our Loco up and running. So let's have a look. Also, we do have a red light at the moment, but that may change. Let's get this stuff up and running. So usually find our safety systems here. You can leave this on auto if you want, but I like to pop it there. I'm going to make sure my brake's released. I'm going to put CFA on. I'm going to put PZB on. And I'm going to put LZB on. Because all three things are needed on this route. Now let's jump in our seat. Let's have a look. Key in. There we go. Let's pop it into forward. And let's put the brakes to cut in. And we can see here we need to turn on our power, which is now telling us on here we've got power to our cars. Speaking of which, let's pop on our lighting in our cars. Again, this isn't something you need to do, but it's just an optional thing. So we've got that on. Let's put our beams on. Oh, and we better unlock the doors.
Störung, Störung, Störung.
I'm not sure why we got that warning there. Let's have a look. We've still got this red light, so let's have a wee look around outside, I suppose. Oh, actually, before we do that, What's this? Camera, signal, quick bar, function, locomotive status. Let's, is it in function maybe? No, we've been in there. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
RFB. RFB.
The AFB.
RFB.
So now I've got that on. We're going to set it to... We're currently in an 80, but it does say we're going to go into a 70. So at the moment, I'm just going to leave it at 40. And you do need to click this to activate it. And you can now see that we're set there. I'll get us going at 40 and then I'll adjust the speed accordingly. We do still have this red light. Let's take the opportunity then to have a little look outside at this FlixTrain. Very cool. There we go, we can see the lights are on because we put them on. I like it. Let's jump on board. Get back in our seat and... I think this green light should be too long. Let me just... Personal preference. Darken up the screens. Let's lock the doors just in case that's going to trigger this light. Normally you'd leave the doors open until the red light changes, which it hasn't. It is still the same. Okay. Well, I'm assuming... I did notice this service was a few minutes longer than the other services. Maybe this is why. Because of this being held at this light. It's quite a long hold though, isn't it? Oh, there we go. So at the moment it's telling us that we're green, but we're going into an 80. So at that point I am happy to set my AFB to 80 and let's get going. Release our brakes. Give it about 50% power. And off we go. It is a pretty... Let's release our restrictions. Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking logo. It's your CIFA, which is like your vigilance. Basically checking to see if you're still awake. So we seem to have a stop 17 kilometers in. Let's get going. Okay, let's get our speed up to 150 as I'm seeing that we're just coming into a 150. And we are already in the 140. Some power. Off we go. Let's try and get a flyby before we pick up too much speed. Maybe it wasn't the best place to put my camera, but here's what it is. Oh, perfectly timed for the drop to 110. Which I would have completely missed. There's the warning sign for it. Ooh, we have a red light. Yes, we do.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Sure, that's red there. Nearly missing a Sifa as well along the way. Where are our signals? Right, the next one's green. That's a good sign. Still restricted to 85, which basically means 80. We have been released from those restrictions. Okay, there's a station here. I'm going to assume that there was something stopped. There's something on the track in front of us that was stopped at the station and appears to have gone. Let's hope this isn't going to be a recurring theme for the entire run. Yeah, because is that another yellow light coming up? No, it's a speed restriction, which is 60.
Zugbeeinflussung.
So I'm going to make it 55. That's the great thing about the German routes is they literally give you the signals, whilst the signaling is whilst the signal's hard to learn, it's genius how it works. You can have never driven like this. Never driven a route before and get up to speed on a route fairly quickly just by following what the signals tell you. Right, let's get some power going. I'm going to assume that whatever was on the track in front of us has moved on. Hopefully isn't stopping at all the stations, because I'm hoping, I believe on this route we get to go up to 200 in this locomotive, and I want to see that. But before we get to open that up, we do have our stop at 10 kilometers, so let's get that done. And then let's get off out to because I'm fairly sure that there is an LZB section of this track in the middle. Because I think once you go over 160, I think I'm right in saying you have to be under LZB control. So my assumption is that if we can go up to 200, we must have to be under LZB control. We shall soon find out. Goes up to 160 nicely. These Locos normally have fairly decent brakes as well. We do have a drop to 130 approaching. So the other thing I want to watch at, I'm also looking out for, is how well signposted things are. I would like to see either signals that tell me to drop to 130 or warning signs on the track that tell me that. So far, there have been warning signs in place, which has been really good to see. $5K to our stop. There's our 130 warning sign, so let's action that. Down to 110. I was wondering whether we may meet some red signals coming into this station. There's a drop to 100. Yeah, I just wondered whether whatever was obviously stopped at that stop earlier on may have been stopped at this one as well. We're making decent time. I have to say, just like the West Coast Main Line, which looked phenomenal, this track, again, looks absolutely phenomenal. The detail, the trees, the foliage, everything. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to start applying our brakes as we come into the station. Bit late arriving. Not too bad. Or a little bit too aggressive on the brakes there. It's my first time stopping at a station. Oh, well, let's just stop. Wasn't the best stop, but we're here. We've stopped. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, look at the detailing. Looks fun, and big shout out to the shadows on the track. They are. That's the first thing I noticed on the West Coast main line. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned it in any of the videos, but was the shadows that used to just be on the track in front of us, and it always bugged me. Just that small change has made a massive difference. Oh, let's get the doors locked. Let's get ready to go. I'm going to be about a minute late leaving-ish. Yeah, really liking the details. I mean, not just in the locomotives, but in everything. So that's it. We're just shuttling all the way to Fulda now. Go up to 110. It's a long old haul, but it shouldn't take too long once we get up to speed. Just take our time to admire the route. Aha, LZB. So, we've gone into an LZB section. Acknowledge CIFA. I'm going to put my AFB up to 200. Acknowledge that. And now, LZB is in control. It will handle my speed changes, and it will take us up to 200. It's pretty cool. And we just have to be on standby now in case we need to take over. And the LZB section should come to an end at some point, at which point we will need to take over. Power up to full. Give it everything it's got. That's it. We are in the 200 zone. So for you out there that have driven this, what are your thoughts? What's your favourite Loco on it so far? Anybody driving the ICE-T and liking it? This FlixTrain seems pretty good. although not many services I am noticing. That was close. I was hitting the wrong key for C4. Too busy playing about with the cameras. Let's see what all this stuff says. What have we got over here? One failure, I think this is. So at a failure, PZB is the speed of 50 kilometers an hour to reduce. So basically, if the PZB fails, reduce your speed to 50. Seems to be the run of that. Now we do seem to have a speed drop coming up. I wonder whether we're going to have to do it. Oh, here we go. So this says LZB end. This bit here says press the free button, so release button. That says signal as normal. So it is slowing us down. We are coming to PZB end. And yeah, that says follow your normal timetable, basically. Or a timetable and route or something like that. My German's not great, I'm going to be honest, but it was something along those lines. There was a few messages there, I was trying to read them all. So when we came towards the end, you got a yellow signal that said LZB end. Then it seemed to say something like press the free button or press the release button, so I went for the PZB release, LZB release, and then after you press that, it then seemed to say follow route and timetable or something like that. So I assume at that point I was probably meant to take more control. Now that light was yellow there, so let's just be a little bit more vigilant with our signals here. It may be that we've caught up with that locomotive again. Whatever was on the tracks in front of us may once again be on the tracks in front of us. Green at the moment. And we've got 50k to go. green. Seem to be okay. Please, if anybody from or knows more German than me, which isn't difficult, or if there's anybody from Germany watching this, please let me know in the comments if I didn't translate anything correct. Let me know. I'd love to know what those... I think I got them. I think I got those messages. Okay. Ooh, 140 drop. But there were a couple of others that come. The one I think said expected break point or something like that. So I think that was it, saying that it was an expected drop in speed. Something along those lines. Everything flashed up so quickly I didn't get the chance to take it. I'll maybe watch the video back at some point and pin it in the comments what I thought these things said. Dicey looking guy there on the edge of the platform. I have to say, this route looks phenomenal. See, that was yellow again there, that signal. There is definitely something on the track in front of us. There's the 160. Oop. Button. What did I miss there? I'm going to go with probably a red signal. So that's the thing on these German routes, one momentary lapse. Yeah, that's red. Momentary lapse in focus. Been way too aggressive on the old brakes. Guessing that there's a station up ahead of us, and whatever we've been following this whole time has had to stop. Would be my guess. we're not going to be held here too long. Oh, there we go. We've got a green, but the next signal at the moment is apparently red. But I'm sure that's going to change. My guess would be here that he's moved off from the platform and we're just sort of following. I'm not in a hurry to move off myself here because I want to let him get away. So for right now, I am going to set... I'm just going to set my speed to 60 for now. Ah, well, there we go. Now it's changed to green, so I know the next signal's green. And we are now fine to release. Okay, let's get going then. See if we can't catch him up again. Speed drop to 140. Yeah, I have to say, I'm enjoying this route. It's a busy route, lots of things to try and do and focus on. Left, just over. Back up to full speed. You know, I mostly drive British routes because I really like them. Some of my favourites are things like the Cathcart Circle. I mean, the new West Coast Main Line's brilliant. And a lot of, you know, a lot of the UK routes are really, really good. And because I live in the UK, I love the UK routes. I live up in Edinburgh, so you know, the Edinburgh to Glasgow and the Fife Circle, the Cathcart Circle, they're all my local routes, as it were. So I've always had a bit of a soft spot for them, but this route looks fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm really liking this. I mean, the West Coast Main Line was brilliant, and I thought there's no way this can compete with it, but wow, was I wrong. I'd go as far as to say this could well be top spot for my favourite Train Sim World route at the moment. Obviously, this is my first run. We've got some rain. Where are the window wipers? Aircon. Wipers. I think we need that. Let's go back to intermittent. Rain? Yeah, there are little drops. Ooh, 110. Damn it. Completely missed that. Those speed drops with the rain. Well, so what do we do in a situation like this? You let the Loco come to a stop. Then you press the PZB release, which is the end key. Then you need to put your throttle down to off. And then that's you good to go. Just reapply your throttle. Now we are in the rain here, so don't be too aggressive with your throttle. And there we go. We are underway again. So yeah, don't panic. I'm going to be honest. Doing a German route, CIFA usually gets me at some point, or I miss a signal, or I'm not sure what I did there, whether it was just missing the speed drop, or maybe there was a signal as well. I'll have to watch the video back at some point to see what I did wrong there, but it is no big deal. We are on a little bit of an uphill here, so I'm going to give it a bit more power. I'm not sure whether I'm getting some wheel spin. I think there's a need for sand here. There we go, we'll get going. Right, 120, let's lock it in. The power up. Accelerating on an incline in the rain, always fun. Well, the good part about all that is whatever was on the track in front of us should now have a good lead on us. So all being well, we shouldn't have any more interference from it. Depending on how many stops it's got. We've got 30 kilometers left. We've got 21-ish minutes, 20 and a half minutes to get there. Once we get back up to speed, that shouldn't be a problem. Always remember though that the distances in Train Sim World are as the crow flies, meaning that it's a straight line from here, where I am right now, to my destination. If we have a quick look at the map, there's lots of winds, so it's drawing a straight line through here, and it doesn't take all that extra distance into account caused by all those wires. And that is something that you do need to bear in mind when you're looking at distances to where you're going. There's our 110 warning sign. Wonder if this end of the line is going to be a bit more slower paced. Still though, which is good. For all you newcomers out there, or for you guys that don't often play the German routes, if you would like me to do a tutorial on the German signaler, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do so, although there are already a couple of good videos out there. The main one being the one that Matt did from Dovetail. It's a long video, but it's well worth a watch. Well worth a watch. So much good information in it. But yeah, it is a long video, so if at some point you wanted me to do a very brief overview of, I mean, it's a complicated subject, you know what I mean? I know why Matt's video was so long. It was because it's a big subject. Going to get to go back up to 140 by the look of it, and maybe 160 after that. There's our 140. Let's lock that in. Look how nice a road this is. I mean, wow. tunnel coming up. Oh, this really is a long tunnel. And there's a 140 drop sign. $20K left, guys, so not too long. For those of you that have stuck this out and are still watching, wow, thank you very much. Really does mean a lot to me. And please let me know, what do you want to see me do next? What loco, what route? I mean, to be honest, I'd like to stay on this route. But what service do you want to see me do? Do you want to see me do more in the FlixTrain? I'm going to have to do one in the iced tea, but there is also passenger runs as well. There's a couple of locos for the passenger runs. I also noticed that this particular route has lots and lots of things that layer onto it. So I think what I'm going to do between now and my next video is install all my content. Because at the moment I'm just running the deluxe. I haven't installed any of my own content. It is literally just a deluxe package that I was really fortunate to get a key for from Dovetail, which was fantastic. Sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call, but I am back now. And we are not far. Not sure whether that caught me or not. We are not far now, 10k out from our final stop. Fulda. I like the fact that we've had a bit of weather. I mean, this route looks even phenomenal in the bad weather. Kind of spooky, kind of eerie. Seven and a half K out. Freight services. So, just from the 3 Train Sim World 5 routes, there's a speed drop. What is everybody's favourite service? For the ones I've tried so far, I have enjoyed this one. But I did really enjoy the Pendolino run that I did. That was a LZB. Interesting.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Sorry about that, guys. Yet another phone call. My wife is away through Glasgow, so didn't want to ignore it. But we have been caught, so let's get this fixed. Now this was a CIFA one, so we need to cycle the brakes. And we are also in an LZB. Now seems to be telling us to follow the signals and timetable. So it's saying we're coming to the end of our LZB. So let's see how that goes. If that is the case, we've got a 140 coming up. So let's lock that in. Okay. assume it's coming to an end, but we are dropping to a 100. Right. So, I mean, we are still under LZB control. But it is also saying that it's coming to an end, so... I'm just going to... You know what? Let's just knock the power off there. Just coast the remainder of this journey. Excuse me. There we go. So now LZB has officially ended. Oh, but when LZB ends, remember to click that. Because otherwise you get that braking. Well, that is a whole row of yellow lights, so I'm going to assume that the red signal is at the end of the platform. The rain looks good in this as well. The weather effects on the windshield are some of the best I've seen. Well, I'm going to be honest, I've thoroughly enjoyed this run, and I will definitely be doing more videos on this route, because it's phenomenal. Not sure what my next one will be, possibly a passenger service. Just so it's something a bit more... you know, I've done this a shuttle run, so if the next one we do as a passenger service, it's something a little bit different. You know what? Our stopping distance is terrible. But let's just bring this one to an end. Let's open these doors. Well, guys, if you are still watching, thank you so much for watching. Liking and subscribing always helps me out. I will be releasing more videos on this route because, well, I've thoroughly enjoyed it and it's a great route. And there is more to see. We need to do a video on the iced tea. We definitely need to do passenger service. I think that's what I will be doing next. But yeah, if there's something in particular you want to see me do, let me know. Thank you very much for watching. And I will catch you